Hello everybody, it is Al Knight and it is Brony time, and welcome back to Justice Ace Attorney Trilogy. It's been a while since I booted up this game and recorded an episode, but, I got kind of burned out, so I'm back. I'm ready, I'm excited to get back into the game. I believe when we last left off, we were, Jinxie's Moon Matrix, that's where we were. It's our first day in court, or is there a second day in court? No, it's day one. There we go. Oh, this is one of Widget's functions. Right here you can see images and emotions extracted from the witness's voice. Whoa, you mean that little thing could do all this? Pretty cool, huh? And here I thought it was just some kid's toy. Unfortunately, all I'm getting is an overflow error right now. See how sad is brightly lit there at the bottom left? She's under an uncontrollable amount of distress, which is masking her other emotions. It seems the sheer terror she experienced has made her a confused mess. So, all those yokai she thinks she saw, a product of rampant emotions? Yes, that's right. Fear has instilled in her hallucinations and false memories. She's seeing normal, everyday objects as monsters in her mind. It's a form of schizophrenic hallucination brought on by emotional trauma. And the trauma in Jinxie's case is fear. So she was and still is seeing ordinary objects as yokai. We'll have to find the root cause of her extreme fear before I can treat it. Now let's see. Apollo, can you point out the yokai on the Wheel of Fire? She's particularly terrified of that one. Start by pressing probe. Next, point to what's causing Jinxie's out-of-control emotion. Finally hit probe again to try and get to the heart of the matter. Okay, let's give this a try. Jinxie, what's the name for that yokai on a Wheel of Fire? That's Akasha, a yokai that steals the bodies of the recently deceased. I bet it came to steal the aldermans. It's almost creepy how well that fits the actual situation. Exactly. It's a form of hallucination where the patient can't see things for what they are. There must be something at the scene of the crime that she's mistaking for Akasha. Apollo, you need to point out what she thought was a yokai on a Wheel of Fire. I think I know the answer now. Jinxie, that wasn't Akasha you saw. Could you have possibly mistaken this for Akasha? The ceiling, yeah.
Take that!
The light fixture? This one right here. It has a flame design and is up there on the ceiling. There was never a yokai on a Wheel of Fire. The Akasha you saw was just a light fixture. I see, so we gotta probe our way through all of these yokai she thinks she saw. That's one memory back to normal. Nice job. Now that you got the hang of it, it should be a cinch to point out the rest. Jinxie, what about this white wall-like monster? That's Nurikabe. It's a wall monster that blocks your way or leads you astray. That's no yokai, Jinxie. It's a folding screen. Ah! And this raccoon dog isn't a tanuki monster. It's just a statue of one. And look, These are just coffee cups, and this right here is nothing more than a fox statue. I don't know what I was thinking. You did it, Apollo! Her extreme fear is under control now. It was all just my eyes playing tricks on me. There weren't any yokai after all. See? A clear-cut statement. That's the power of my psychology and your intuition, Apollo. And just like we thought, there never really were any yokai in the Fox Chamber. Right. There were never really any yokai there. So the defense is asserting the exact opposite of their original assertion? Wait, Jinxie? What about Tenma Taro? There wasn't anyone there dressed up as Tenma Taro, or any other yokai either. Remember clearly now. You've gotta be joking! Great, of course. Order in the court! I think we just dug our own grave. Allow me to push you in. It's the least I could do. No! Apollo, can I interrupt your freakout for just a minute? I'm still picking up some noise. It's an unexpected emotion. Does that mean Jinxie hasn't remembered everything yet? Exactly. We should be able to get something else out of her. I'll enter the new information we have and run an update. I was so scared when I entered the room. My legs gave out and I fell to the floor. Wait a second. Was that statue always there? Why were you sad? I mean, I don't think you really had any, like, emotional connection to the alderman in any way. I want to look about that. The amount of fear you felt is rather low, despite your legs having given out from fright. Could something have lessened your fear? Actually, I did experience a sudden burst of courage at that moment. You did? Where did it come from? Let me think. Oh, it was Mama. I suddenly felt as if she was there with me. Okay, I'll enter sudden burst of courage. Now let's see. Ah, look! Apollo, the noise is all gone. Jinxie seems to have remembered everything now. A sunburst of courage. Now, where could that have come from? Jinxie, was there anything... the wrong word. Jinxie, was there something that gave you a sunburst of courage? Yes, there was, but, I realized I had done something naughty when I thought about it later. Any idea what could have given Jinxie that courage? Well, there is one piece of evidence that comes to mind. But you saw something like it at the scene of the crime. Did your sudden burst of courage have anything to do with this? Could it have been the Ninetales mask? No, that wasn't at the scene. I'm stupid. A flower found only in Ninetales Vale. It boosts Jinxie's courage because it was her mother's favorite. Okay. Was it this flower?
Take that!
Jinxie, you didn't happen to see a Ninetales flower there at the scene, did you? Ha! The demon lawyer strikes again! I can't hide anything from you. I found a small case with a picture of Ninetales flower on it. I liked it so much I kept it. You what? You can't remove evidence from a crime scene! That's right, young lady. Removing evidence is a big no-no. Now, the witness will produce said evidence this instant. Sorry. I love the reflection in the pan. It does seem to be some sort of case. Oh, look, something slid out. It appears to be a key. Might I have a look, your baldness? Ah! This is none other than the master key to the Karubi Manor. Are you certain of this, Prosecutor Blackwell? It matches the serial number of the key that went missing after the murder. A master key that went missing? I don't like the sound of that. Our little scamp here stumbled upon an article of unimaginable consequence. That's a little melodramatic, don't you think? Heed these words, for I shall say them but once. The sole key to the Fox Chamber has been in this little scamp's constant possession. Ergo, she was the sole person who could use it before, during, and after the murder. Oh, you are not going to try to say she killed her. Which leaves the master key as the only other key that could have opened the chamber. But this master key was found in a room that had been locked by this girl. And your point is, until Jinxie Tenma opened the Fox Chamber with a key, the room had been locked tight from the outside world. There was no one else in there save the victim and his killer. I trust you have figured it out for yourself by now. A killer other than Mayor Tenma himself would be utterly inconceivable. No! Sorry.
Objection!
How could this happen? The defense assistant will refrain from growling her frustrations. Athena, are you alright? I know Mayor Tenma's innocent, but there's nothing we can do. This sucks. Psych, Stono. Allow me to put you out of your misery. Can I decline your offer? Abandon your client and your misplaced faith in him. Let the relief of a clear head and clean conscience come rushing in. That will make the inevitable guilty verdict far easier to accept. Great, now he's playing Simon Says with us. Well, he's not going to fool us with his stupid mind games. Athena, don't fall for his tricks. Now I'm the one whose days are confused. I can't even think straight. Hey, are you alright? She fell right into his trap. I suggest you make a mad dash from the courtroom and into the wild blue yonder. Only by running shall your mind be cleared and your conscience cleansed. Alright, I'll be back in 10. Stay with me, Athena. Don't let yourself be twisted by that samurai. Apollo? Mr. Justice? I heard the word objection, but what did you object to? Huh? Oh, right. That objection was more of a reflex than anything else. But I was hoping something would come to me while I was trying to stop Athena. The court is waiting, Mr. Justice. Though as it stands now, I'll be forced to declare your client guilty and your legal skills suspect if this is it. Now, do you have anything that could overturn the prosecution's case? Well, actually, I do. I'm Apollo Justice, and I'm fine. Apollo? You do have something more than your cords of steel, don't you? Not really, but we'll be fine. But... Got absolutely nothing. But that's never stopped me before. I have to explain how the real killer could have escaped that locked room. Because it's all over if I don't. Apollo, this calls for a new approach. Try to think outside the box. Or in this case, inside the box. What a doozy that locked room is, too. Shu loves his locked room mysteries, doesn't he? Excuse me? Well, Mr. Justice, do you have anything that can counter the prosecution's argument? You bet I do. The real killer must have escaped from the locked room one way or another. Vague conjecture shall only earn you a taste of my blade, Justice Stunner. Time to do or die. Literally. The defense will now explain how it would be possible to escape the locked room. You sure about this, Apollo? Can you really explain what happens? I'm fine. We just need to think this whole escaping a locked room thing over from the beginning. So, let's see. The killer had escaped. How could they have done so? The choices are pretty limited. The room has a window, but it doesn't open wide enough for anyone to get through, and there's a sheer cliff outside. Okay. I was like, what about the window? But they thought of that. She thought of that. As far for the air vent, it's also too small. It's up too high, and there's nothing you could stand on to reach it. And needless to say, the forbidden chamber wouldn't open no matter what we did, so that's out. Yeah, that's why we gotta keep the solution simple. Like they say, simple is best. Occam's razor. We need to rule out all of the absolutely impossible escape routes. Then whatever's left just might lead us to how the Fox Chamber was compromised. Your Honor, the defense proposed that the killer went through here. I bet you the door wasn't actually locked, was it?
Take that!
The hallway door? Well, yes, I suppose that would be the only way out. It would appear you've already forgotten. The only available key to Jinxie Tenma came on the scene was within that locked room. How would one exit the Fox Chamber and then lock it without a key, I should have seen this coming. Remember, Apollo, keep it simple. Simple, right. I can understand if the killer had exited the room with the key, but... Well, Mr. Justice, prosecution has some fine Japanese steel waiting unless you explain yourself quickly. I'm fine. I can explain myself. The reason the Fox Chamber's hallway door was locked was because... Tenma could have locked it from inside because Jinxie just testified that she didn't actually see him in the room. It locked on its own makes no damn sense. I know. Now, there are doors that do lock by themselves. We had doors in college that would lock from behind before you tapped your key, but I don't think we're dealing with that here. It's an old mansion. So it's gotta be locked from the outside. What if the room was locked from the outside? In other words, the killer took the key through the hallway door, then locked it. Yeah! Consider this. The master key was found inside the tightly locked Fox Chamber. Any assertion that the key was removed from the room is a blatant contradiction of fact. Exiting the room before locking the door would require taking the key outside, but the key was found inside the room, which does seem like a contradiction. Only could explain both, like how the key could be inside the room and be used to lock the door from the outside. Well, let's see if the defense can respond before Prosecutor Blackwell draws his sword. How could the master key be at the crime scene despite the room being locked tight? Slipped it in when the door was open. That doesn't make any sense because he would have had to close the door before he locked it, change the lock. That would take way too much time. It's definitely not that. Clear it in from outside. If someone threw it into the room from the outside, you know, something like go out the hallway door, lock the room, and then toss the key back in through the window. That would explain how the master key could be inside the locked room. And where would you throw it from? There is a cliff outside the fox's chamber's window. Throwing the key in from there is an impossibility. Oh, great. Ah! I wonder if the key could have been tossed in from somewhere other than the window. Somewhere other than the window? Could the key have been tossed through somewhere other than the window? Well, the only way inside that room is the air duct, but that doesn't make much sense. But it's all I really got.
Take that!
The air vent? Yes, the window may be out of the question, but the air vent's not. Well, that's right. The fox chamber's air duct leads out into the hallway. That's right. The real killer entered the air duct from the vent outside the fox chamber. Then dropped the key into the room through the vent inside the chamber. Ah! Oh, this seems like a bit of a reach. That's preposterous. Oh, that explains how the key got in there after it was used to lock the door perfectly. Mr. Justice, I'm afraid I'm a bit confused. Don't worry. I'll explain it so even your honor can understand. First, the real killer disguised as Tenma Taro murdered the alderman in the fox chamber. Then they fled the room through the hallway door and locked it. Next, they entered the air duct from the vent outside the hallway. Finally, the killer tossed the key into the room through the air vent in the ceiling there. All that was left to do after that was go back through the duct and flee the manor. Well, Your Honor, could that be any clearer? Amazing, even I could follow that. I'm dumb as hell. The judge seems really pleased. That explains everything. The real killer was someone dressed up like Tenma Taro. And there was someone else other than the mayor and the alderman in that room. Whoa, that was a total turnabout. That massive forehead of his seems so much more attractive now. Order, 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 I say. Now that I've proved a possible third party, I don't see how our client could be guilty.
Silence.
Oh, damn, he doesn't even eject. He's just like, silence. A valiant effort, Justice Dono. But your final thrust missed its mark. Huh? Both that little scamp and the tricksy Tanuki saw the yokai after it left the room. But then what? That irksome yokai simply go through the foyer and waltz right out the front door? That's exactly what happened. The killer fled for the But that is impossible without being spotted by the foyer's security camera, that is. The electric eye here would have captured any pesky little yokai trying to escape. However, there was no sign of Tenma Taro anywhere in the security footage. What? Save for the foyer entrance, there is no other way to flee the manor, is there? I don't feel so good. Wait, I believe there is one other way to escape besides the foyer entrance. There's a large window in the foyer. It's possible to escape through there without being seen by the security camera. Hey, you're right. Must I point out every crucial detail to the defense? It seems you lack not only brains, but investigative prowess to boot. That is the cliff. That is the cliffside of the manor. The only killer escaping that way would be a dead one. Wait, so the killer didn't escape out the foyer window? What the heck, right? Ha! I suppose your next proposal is the killer sprouted wings and flew off into the sunset. That would mean the killer really was a yokai. Well, we had some sort of evidence that could point to a flying killer. Who's saying we don't? As completely far-fetched as it might be. What? You're saying you could prove the killer could fly? We have the picture. Oh, I thought I was the one with the cords of steel. Oh, I can't wait to hear this. Your Honor. What evidence do you have that the killer flew away? The special edition paper. We saw the Tenma in the sky.
Take that!
Take a look at the special edition paper. Tenma Taro, real or flight of fancy? What does this article prove? What does this... Oh, sorry. That was the judge. Tenma Taro, real or flight of fancy? What does this article prove, Mr. Justice? The photo in that article was taken shortly after the murder. Maybe the yokai in that photo was the killer shortly after they fled out the window? Well, Mr. Justice, you're not seriously suggesting. Oh, I'm serious. I mean, it all adds up. The killer disguised as Tenma Taro flew away. You know, by some way or another.
Silence.
It's your brain that has flown the coop. That image is not but a trick photography or some other form of artifice. Okay then, how about the Tenma Taro figure Mr. Phillips saw? It just vanished into thin air? No, there's rational common sense explanation for that. That infernal yokai, or tricksy tanuki, witness never reached the entrance. He, or shall I say she, turned back before the camera's electric eye. She? I don't like where this is going one bit. And the fact that we know the yokai had come from the Fox Chamber means that it was likely either Mayor Damien Tenma or his daughter Jinxie Tenma. However, we know that Mayor Tenma was already unconscious at the time. Not good. Not good at all. Do you understand the gravity of the situation now, Justice Dono? The falsified yokai remnants and the appearance of Tenma Taro were the work of one individual. That individual was none other than Jinxie Tenma. Oh boy, here we go again. Order, order, the defense will stop competing for the greatest freakout ever. Little scamp was no doubt simply trying to protect her father. It's no wonder that her superstitious mind conjured up this mad masquerade. Prosecutor Blackwood's assertion makes perfect sense to me. Far more convincing than saying the killer escaped by flying out the window. Did you truly believe this could end any other way? Did we fall right into his trap? What do we do now, Apollo? Our case no longer stands without a real yokai, if only we had one. Bailiff, seize her. This time I interrogated her as the samurai of yore would. Hold it! Mayor Tenma? This farce is over. How does it feel seeing your own daughter accused of a cover-up most foul? Tenma's Taro's true identity is. Now, Mr. Mayor, it'd be futile at this point to claim you were the yokai. After all, you had been knocked out cold by a blow to the skull. Slipping into a yokai costume and roaming about the manor would be all but impossible. Consider this well. As it stands, your daughter will be arrested for obstruction of justice. If you confess, prosecution would be willing to overlook a little yokai farce. Confess? The defendant intends to confess. Wait! Apollo, Prosecutor Blackwell's up to his mind games again. Mayor Tenma, no! Don't fall for his twisted words. If you're sent away for murder, Jinxie will be left all alone. The real killer is... Tenma's going to confess unless we do something. But I can't prove how the real killer could have flown away. Look upon me and despair, for ripe is time for my return. Uh-oh. Should watch what I wish for. Foolish mortals! I am Tenma Taro, the yokai you seek. Mayor Tenma? Silence! I am Tenma Taro, freed from the bonds binding me to the Forbidden Chamber. Behold, the return of the Demon King. What the? Demon King? Well then, I think it's time for me to take a vacation! The witness will, he will explain himself. Are you saying you're Tenma Taro, the yokai we've been chasing this whole time? Indeed, it is I, Tenma Taro, the one whom you seek, come to reveal the truth. This child is Tenma Taro, you say? Ha! What nonsense! So Mayor Tenma is a yokai now? His body is now mine. So say that Mayor Tenma is being possessed by you? That the yokai that Jinxie, Tenma, and Phineas Filch saw. And the one captured in the newspaper photo, those were all you? The accursed power of these warning charms prevents me from revealing my true form. There's no fucking way. He's doing this to buy time. Your boldness. Can this not be interpreted as an admission of guilt? Well, a confession by a yokai would be quite unprecedented. But be that as it may, the defense's case has been overturned. Huh? What? You claim the yokai that little scamp saw was some third party, the true killer. The one who escaped from the Lock's Fox chamber, but was the accused all along. Darn it! Ironic, is it not? Your yokai turned out to be real in a manner of speaking. For the Alderman's killer is none other than Mayor Tenma. And the yokai at the scene, that too was Mayor Tenma, or should I say, our dear Tenma Taro. The pieces have fallen into place. How so, Prosecutor Blackwell? It seems I must spell it all out for you. Mayor Tenma killed Alderman in the Fox Chamber, which was locked at the time. He then removed the warning charms from the Forbidden Chamber door. But then fell unconscious from the blow the Alderman had delivered to his head. That's when his daughter, Jinxie Tenma, stumbled on the scene of the crime. Little scamp fled in terror, whereupon the spirit of Tenma Taro, freed at last from the charm's warding effect, took possession of the mayor. The newly freed Tenma Taro then fled from the Fox Chamber. So you see, the yokai Jinxie Tenma saw was her father possessed by Tenma Taro.
Objection!
But when we arrived on scene, the mayor was found unconscious. How's that possible if he was supposed to have flown out the foyer window? Then what? Do you mean to say the maid of Groovy Man and Jinxie Tenma was Tenma Taro? Oh. Ha, that too is easy to explain. Flew about for a time, did I? But presently tired, I made for the Forbidden Chamber. But alas, exhaustion took me unawares in the Fox Chamber, and I knew no more. See, the pieces are still in place. Is Blackwell up to his tricks again? I don't know what to say. Is the defendant a real liar? Bill, you mean they really did kill the alderman just so he could release Tenma Taro? Order! Order! Now he's got everyone in the courtroom believing in yokai. Simon says on steroids. Wants to convict our client any way he can, even if it means blaming a yokai. The proverbial ducks are all in a row. You should now have no qualms about finding the accused guilty of baldness. This is one of the most bizarre cases in my entire career. Otherworldly, in fact. Can yokai even be prosecuted under our legal system?
Objection!
Mayor Tenma is just pretending to be Tenma Taro to protect his daughter. Plus, I already proved how a third party could have escaped from the locked room. A verdict to this point would be premature. Since both sides have raised valid points, I have no choice but
silence.
This is the dark age of the law where defense attorneys are not to be trusted. This is but a ploy to gain time for them to fabricate evidence. How will I sleep tonight? Knowing you will not let the sun rise on the mayor's day of reckoning, Justice Dunner.
Objection!
I won't fabricate any evidence.
Silence.
Then prove it by joining me. A night in the clink will ensure you will not succumb to temptation. How about I just promise not to succumb to anything? We have both evidence and a confession. The killer is this yokai before us. It is beyond dispute. A guilty verdict is all but... What's wrong with him? Prosecutor Blackwell, we've had enough of your hijinks. The foundation of justice is fair play, and you are in serious violation of that. What in the devil was that? Fulbright, have you tampered with my shackles in some manner? Ha 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 ha! It seems you found that quite shocking. It's my special jolt of justice device. Each press is a shocking reminder to behave. You shall pay for this. I, Simon Blackwell, vow to... Ah! Your Honor, you need not fear now. I believe Prosecutor Blackwell will remain on his best behavior. A bit late with the reassurances, aren't we, Detective? Well, in that case, that concludes today's deliberations. Prosecution and defense will use this opportunity to further their investigations. The court is adjourned. Interesting. On we go. Having a yokai testify in court is unprecedented, to say the least. I am Tenma Taro, the yokai you seek. How could such a straight-laced man like Mr. Tenma suddenly become a demon? Yeah, it's strange. Even worse, Prosecutor Blackwell is playing along. I can't even think straight anymore. I need to go out for a run. See you in a bit. Wait, what about the investigation? Back! Eee! Whoa, Trucy, welcome back. Oh, you're in your stage outfit, back from work? Yep, I really nailed the new magic trick I've been working on. I also heard about those tricks that were conjured up in court earlier today. You know, the demon out of nowhere trick and Polly's tightrope style defense trick. I was seriously considering a disappearing act on my own after all that craziness. Anyway, our next trick is to find a suspect, other than the mayor. I know the killer must have used the air duct in their escape. And whoever did that was the Tenma Taro that Mr. Filch and Jinxie saw. Right, maybe there's some evidence in the air duct. The real fight starts now. Hey, before you go, let me make the evidence you no longer need disappear. 3, 2, 1, ta-da! Unnecessary evidence has disappeared into Trucy's magic panties. God damn it, they brought back the magic panties. I wonder where all that stuff goes. Okay, let's go over to the scene of the crime. Vamonos, Apollo, vamonos! Detective Fulbright, mind if we search the air duct? Well, since you really are on the side of justice, I suppose I can let you. Plus, my own sense of justice has been called into doubt, so... Wonder if he's been like this ever since the trial. Well, his sense of justice has been beaten to a pulp. It'll probably take a while for him to recover. I sort of feel bad for him, but we have work to do. Let's go get the evidence we need. The air duct is the key. We know that the Tenma Taro impersonator used it to make an escape. After murdering the alderman, the killer left the fox chamber through the hallway door. Then, after locking the door from the outside, the killer entered the air duct in the hallway. Finally, the killer dropped the key into the fox chamber through the air vent here. Then went back through the air duct and fled the manor. That's how the illusion of no one entering or leaving the locked room was created. If the killer passed through the air duct, maybe we'll find evidence there. Yeah, maybe some black feathers or something like that. Well, here's our vent. It's awfully high up. Don't worry, I brought a stepladder. Happy hunting! I'm nice of her to volunteer me for the job. Whoa, it's pitch black in here. Well, here goes nothing. A thick layer of dust in here. Oh my gosh, guys. I have a story for y'all about dust. I'm sorry this is completely out of nowhere. But before I moved to where I live now, out of my childhood home, I had to clean out my old room and for all the stuff I was going to take that I needed. I didn't take everything, of course, but that room had so much dust kicked up in it, like my right eye was like swollen, itchy as hell and swollen. Like I was just, oh my god, the allergic reaction was just terrible. Okay, story over. Back to the game. I don't get it. Find anything? Yikes, Apollo, what happened? You're covered in dust. Yeah, dust. Lots of dust. So what'd you find? You know how dust collects on some when nobody uses it for a long time? Yeah, like Mr. Wright's desk back at the office. Right. You think it'd be possible to crawl over that sort of dust without leaving a trail? I seriously doubt it. Wait, you're not suggesting no one's gone through that duct lately? Kinda looks that way. And if it's true, Mayor Tenma is going to be fingered as the killer. But, if we don't turn things around quickly... In justice we trust! Ah! Ah ha ha! Sorry, Mr. Justice. But it seems your justice was not the most just after all. It is my sense of justice that has prevailed. Ah! Detective Fulbright sure seems chipper all of a sudden. Ugh, and I'm back to my old devastated self. Ah, come on. Where's that never say die spirit? Bring it on, Mr. Lawyer Man. Bring it on. Let me suffer in peace. Ha ha ha. Justice prevails once more. It's not over yet, and besides, kicking someone when they're down is what bad guys do. Ah! Are you calling me a bad guy? Me, Bobby Fulbright, champion of justice. Then how about some information on the investigation? We need some help here. Information about the investigation? Alright, but I won't have you calling me a bad guy ever again. Understood? I'll kill you! We did it, Apollo. Yeah, but how long can we keep this up? Can't believe Prosecutor Blackwell would stoop that low. I mean, to pinning the blame on a yokai? He really wants conviction at all costs. Should give a yokai a run for its money when she's mad. Yes, well, I have him writing a self-reflective essay as we speak. I doubt that'll teach him anything. Yeah, I'll probably just write dotard 1,000 times. That whole yokai business is most likely a ploy to win a conviction. Truth is, Prosecutor Blackwell believes Jinxie Tenma planted that yokai stuff. Planted it in an effort to protect her father, the real killer. Yeah, right. I like to see him prove it. Whoa, calm down. Doesn't have any direct evidence, but we did find this. It was at the base of the cliff just outside the Karubi Manor. Wait, what is it the staff Taro was supposedly carrying, is it? The one and only. Miss Tenma no doubt tossed it over the cliff when she was done. No way! Well, what about Prince? Nope, no Prince, but if she was wearing a costume, there wouldn't be any anyway. Well, Prince or no Prince, it's not going to work in our favor. Sounds like the staff might have belonged to the mansion. But if that's the case... And where in the mansion did Taro get it from? Did Prosecutor Blackwell figure out that the victim was the Amazing Ninetales? He did indeed. He's a sharp one, all right. He figured it out while investigating the municipal merger in the victim's past. The Amazing Ninetales sparked the yokai craze and worked against the merger. Mayor Damien Tenma is the corrupt politician who murdered that great hero. The Amazing Ninetales fans are so angry they even tried to storm the detention center. I don't blame them. I mean, their favorite mass wrestling hero was murdered. They must have been shocked when they found out what happened. Speaking of which, isn't Jinxie also a fan of the Amazing Ninetales? She spoke with a passion that only a fan could appreciate. We ought to become fans ourselves and go protest in front of the prison. What? No! Did you forget that Mayor Tenma is not only Jinxie's father, but our client? Oh yeah. You be careful now. You're defending the most hated mayor in history. I just hope you won't find yourself on the wrong end of a figure 4 leg lock. Maybe I should wear a mask to hide my identity. Are there any other new developments we should know? Now that you mention it, our suspect is suffering partial memory loss, but he did manage to remember something. He did? What did he say? He said he didn't want to speak with us. His exact words were, I am under no obligation to speak with you mortals. And other things of that nature. I wonder what Mayor Tenma remembered. Too bad you can't go ask him now, because Prosecutor Blackwell's busy questioning him. I know, why don't you wait down at the playground with the rest of the kids? Ha ha! What now, Apollo? How about regrouping back at the agency? Good idea, we might get some words of wisdom out of Mr. Wright while we're there. Sorry, wrong voice. Not done yet. Oh, we are. Oh, well, oh well, anyway, sorry, I was thinking. But, we indeed have come up to our time, so I'm gonna call it here. Okay, so, things have taken an interesting turn. I don't know if I'm digging this case. Maybe someone will happen to redeem it, but it's kind of just paint by numbers. There's been no really, like, whoa, like, twists in this one. It just seems... I guess it was supposed to be more of a fun, silly case, but I don't know. We'll see. We're not even on the second day of trial yet, so we'll see. It could take a turn here soon. But anyway, thank you all for watching. Please leave a like, comment, and subscribe to Brony Time for more content, especially more Apollo Justice Trilogy, Dual Destinies. Also, make sure to share this video far and wide. It has been doing really well, and I would like to continue to keep it that way. So yeah, I will see you all next time.